Hello, everyone. Vodka, good morning to you and good evening from here. Hope everyone's doing well. Fixing to send the link to Past Life. And we're gonna get started. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's see. Let me get this thing fixed here to send, and so I can clipboard it or whatever it's called. Um. So yeah, I hope everyone's had a good weekend. Hey, sis. So it looks like StreamYards is actually doing better on chat than my phone is right now. You just the other way around. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Hey, JoJo, how are you? All right, let's see. Let me see if this is going to work here. Okay. So, excuse me. So tonight we're having a podcast with Past Life up here, and he'll be up here shortly. And I got all the notifications. I think the notifications are starting to go out anyway. So I did a couple investigations this week. So one of them was pretty good. I went to a cemetery, got some interesting things come through, and it was kind of lining up with the ghost tool. I was getting it lined up pretty good, and that worked. I like it when that happens. I also went and filmed at another place. I didn't get much there. It was down in our what's called the River Arch there. I didn't get much there. I got a little bit, but not a ton. Okay, Joe. And I'll have to just try to go back sometime. But it's getting a little bit crazy down in that area right now, so may kind of stay out of that area for a while. But the cemetery was real cool. Had a good time with that one. You'll see why when the video drops. I'm not sure when I'm gonna put it up though. I got so much on back stock of videos I'm trying to get caught up on. Hey Bama, how are you? There is Past Life. Let me get the excuse me. There you are. What's happening?
What's going on, brother?
Oh, just chilling out.
Cool. And hello, chat. Sorry for my delay for a minute or two. PLE was doing a little, house chores.
Yeah, there you go. No problem. No problem. I just fill them in on what I did this past week. So
Sweet.
yeah.
What all did you get into?
Well, I went to a place called the River Arts area and did a video. Just it's near the river, so there's a lot of times you can get things near a river, but it wasn't too active. Now I went to a cemetery right after that, and I got some pretty good stuff to come through. So, which is good. The Ghost Tool app, when it lines up with people's last names and stuff, that's pretty cool. That's what you're looking for.
That's awesome.
Sure. Yeah. And I got started on your video last night, but I didn't get a chance to finish. I got to about where you guys were doing the REM pod. So I have to go back and check it out. That looked cool.
That would have been Sash's Bridge, right after the Suicide Bridge. Yep.
Yeah. You all got, I think, haunted by bugs more than anything.
At Suicide Bridge, yes. It's actually a swampy area more than it is like a little river. Oh, sorry, a little stream. Sash's Bridge is more taken care of.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
y'all had was it a fox? Did you figure out as a fox or a bobcat that was out there?
I believe it's actually a fox because
Mm-hmm.
the story is last night we went back and we stayed all night. I didn't get home till 5 a.m. So we went back to Sashes. We went back to Suicide. We met up with a few new people that we don't even know, strangers who just want to come tag along.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I wore my mask all the way through the battlefield. Yes, I was. I was hardcore. Yep.
There you go.
I can swear to God. I swear to God, on some platforms, not platforms, but some pages like on Facebook and stuff, I'm guaranteeing you somewhere, I'm walking around with my mask on somewhere, and they're thinking I'm haunted.
Yeah.
They think I'm definitely a ghost. It's got to be somewhere.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's got to be the case.
But what happened is we chilled out a little while at the Suicide Bridge just for a little while,
Mm-hmm.
and in the distance I saw a little tiny fox. So yeah, I think it was a fox.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, if it's a baby, it's probably not going to bother you, but a big bobcat, that could be another issue.
It could.
Yeah,
Years
you never
ago, I
know.
ran into one. Yeah.
Vodka said that they may think you're a horror movie being filmed, I guess, possibly.
That's what I keep thinking every time I whip that the mask out and then the rest of my camera gear. And people walk right by, like look at me for a second. Like we ran into some drunk people last night, which didn't make it fun at all. And they wanted to take over the whole situation, what I was doing. I'm like, nope, not going to happen. So we all just put my gear back in my backpack. I'm like, let's go somewhere else. But yeah, they kept looking at me like, oh my gosh, man, I so admire this. Like, it freaks me out when I see you looking at me, but I admire this.
Well, I mean, that's your trademark, though. That's
It
you.
is. It is, and it scares the ones that I don't want around me away.
Yeah. Well, that works.
Fine with
That's
me.
good. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. So yeah. So yeah, guys, go check out his latest video. Just went up. What was it, yesterday, I believe? Yeah,
Yes,
yesterday.
it was yesterday.
My days are all mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mine are too.
But Gettysburg, anything in Gettysburg, I would love to go check out. So go check out Past Life on those, because I mean, you don't miss anything. I mean, you have a lot of cool stuff that comes through.
Yeah, I wish I was a bit better at it, but in time, I'll get better with the paranormal.
Oh, you're fine.
Getting around to it.
There's no such thing as an expert, so we're all
Right.
just kind of learning together. That is for sure.
And I've also learned that
Mhm.
Put your own style into it. I know mine. I'm a smart mouth and very exaggerated on everything. So I just like to have a good time when hunting. I don't want to take it too serious. Now there are times, yes, but I mean, if nothing's really coming through too much or nothing's really happening, then yeah, I'm gonna entertain you guys while I'm doing that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, there's times I'm like looking around like I'm not getting nothing, and this is boring right now.
Mm-hmm.
But that happens, when we all deal with that. But so what got you into paranormal?
I've always kind of been as a kid. I think I was 9, my first encounter. It was kind of creepy though. It's like the very first time I ever realized something like this actually exists.
Mhm.
When I was at my grandmother's house, my grandmother lived a half block away from a large cemetery. Well, these my room at her house used to have this street light that would come in, but yet she used to have the blinds that full sunproof blinds that you just had to yank down to put it back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So one morning or one night, I'm not for sure what time of the night it was, this see-through ghostly whitish kind of image was looking outside of that little blind, and you could see the blind move.
Mm-hmm.
And he was looking towards the cemetery, but he noticed when I was peeking. And then he started walking up towards the foot of my bed towards me while he's got something in his hand, but I can't see what it is. This guy looked like he was an iron worker. He looked like your typical muscular guy, no shirt, his jean pants looked like they were from the 50s or 40s. and he's very muscular, and he held something in his hand coming up like Michael Myers would, or Jason Voorhees coming at you like in a horror film, And every time he kept doing it, I'm like, I don't want to find out what's gotten behind his back of his hand. So I'm like, I'll just go ahead and put this blanket over top of me. So I did that, thinking, didn't do a thing to this, and I'm like thinking, no, there's a rational explanation. It's no such thing as this. This is figment of imagination. And I looked again. There he was. Same thing, out of the window. He looked towards me. And long story short, we played this game for an hour or two. And even once, I just, for a split second, I put my blanket over top of my head and back down it went. And then next thing you know, he went from raising his hands towards me back to the window. So this was a repetitive thing. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to close my eyes, fall asleep, never happened, And that's what my explanation was. Instead of get the heck out of there. And yeah, I fell asleep, woke up, everything good. Never saw a thing again.
Wow. Yeah, that's something you don't want to encounter.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
My other experiences weren't as seeming as violent as that, but they were always shadow people. I've been followed a good bit by shadow people, and I still am. It doesn't happen too often, but see, I would love to see things, or if I do see things, I would love to see it from outside of my own home.
Right.
But currently, yeah, there's something like watching me. There's something, it's curious. It's not violent. I don't get that kind of feeling from it. I get no horror out of it. It's just when I come to, like, I toss over in bed. I'm just starting to wake up, like 3 a.m., something like that, real fast. I got to get up for a drink of water or something. And look over towards my cabinet where I put my relics of abandoned places, like a brick or something, or a piece of glass that someone shattered, or a mirror. I take like little tiny things like that, and I just save them for souvenirs. Well, there's something staring at me like a female presence, staring at me towards my bed. And by the time that I notice it's there, it runs. It doesn't want to be seen. And it runs right into the freaking wall, and out it went. There are some theories. There are some theories. I think I know who it is, but I don't want to really get into that.
Right. Okay. And I was going to say, could have been something that could have been attached to something you brought home.
Well, actually, I mean, that could be a possibility. I mean, I could talk about it. I think it's my mother.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, she passed away about a good almost 2 years ago, so she's keeping an eye on me, see what I'm up to.
Well, that would be a good thing.
Oh, very good thing. Yeah, like I said, I don't take any. I don't take this thing watching me or this person as anything harmful,
right?
Other than just protecting me. But right now, I got a haunted doll that is very well, I want to say very protective, but I got him on the couch here, not beside me, but on the other side of me here, towards the area where that shadow person stands, and I haven't seen that ghostly image yet since then.
Well, I wonder.
I think that haunted doll is kind of protecting me. I never had any haunted dolls around, but yeah, I got 2 of them here with me right now.
Yeah, I've gotten used to that over the past couple of years with these dolls that I got. But like you say, luckily they're not harmful. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
that's for sure. But we got Shayna is in here now. Let's see, Bama. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss it. Joe said hi. Smoking Joe said hi.
Smoking Joe, Vodka, Shayna.
Let's see. Yeah, I think Tony's Vlogs is in here.
Tony.
Yeah.
What's everybody going?
Yeah. Everybody's having a good time now. They're all laughing at your story and wowing at your story. So that's. If y'all have any questions, please let us know.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Can you see the chat, by the way?
I can.
You can? Okay, good.
Yeah, I usually have this habit. My pastors know it, but I got this habit where I don't really read the chat. I forget it's there. I'll start talking. I'll start rambling until like, oh crap, I meant to look at chat.
Yeah. That's fine though. Okay, like Gettysburg, for instance, have you What's your experiences with soldiers and stuff?
Well, when I talk about a shadow person always seeing one, I saw one there too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Many years ago, I was just taking ghost tours, and I was really into it due to Ghost Adventures was a brand new thing. It was just out within like 2 years. It was on the second season.
Mm-hmm.
I used to sit around every Friday night and watch every episode. I wouldn't miss a beat. So I decided to do a ghost tour in Gettysburg, and 2 a.m. after Jenny Wade's house, which is the only civilian that was killed on that war or a 3-day battle. Walking away from that haunted tour, we decided to go up to the cemetery, the National Cemetery, and on the sidewalk to where the last light was on the lamppost. And right there was something dark, just with a cigar. I think it's a pipe. No, he had a cigarette in his mouth. And he kept smoking it kind of weirdly, and you could see the ember of the cigarette.
Oh, wow.
But the cigarette never went out because of how many times he would take a drag from it very quickly. I'm like, whoever smokes like that unless you're nervous? So the closer I get to this thing, you can usually make out some detail, some kind of detail on somebody if you get close enough. Well, I got so close, maybe I want to say about 20 yards, and I couldn't see any details at all. I'm like, this is not natural. I'm going to back away from this thing.
Right.
Even recently, we've encountered some things that I can't even explain really. Like one of my first Paraurbics videos was done quite a while ago. It was done on Devil's Den in Gettysburg. And what I failed to mention, because I didn't realize it until months after I released it, was there was a silhouette of a ghostly image of a soldier, maybe a gray coat, standing on the boulder, because the Devil's Den, all it is a bunch of boulders. And there's just standing there, just like looking out from a past into the battlefield.
Oh, wow.
So there's just some things you can't. I mean, you can only hear it off of the like EVP off your video or off the camera, whatever. Sometimes you'll see something in the wooded areas, like 100 yards away from you. Once you approach it, it's a freaking tree. Like you don't know.
Right. Sometimes you think you got something, and sometimes you don't.
Yeah, last night was one of those nights. We went out into the field, no one around, and we kept looking at something kind of ghostly, quote unquote, and jumped the field, got into the field, and started walking a little faster than usual. Got right up to where it was, and it wasn't even there. It was just a glistering of some sap tree. I'm like, oh, really?
But you wouldn't know until you got there. I mean, you just never know.
Right.
That's me. I'm like, I hope I catch something. And you're like, oh, darn. Nothing. But that's good. You can debunk it. So, and guys, I put his link to his channel. If you guys have not been there to subscribe yet, please go check out Past Life. Bama has a question for you. And I knew this was going to come up. He said, what made you wear a mask for the first time?
Great question, Bama. Very interesting, though. You see, I'm a musician at heart. Like, I love to entertain. I'm actually an entertainer at heart. So when it comes to all that, I've always been into the biggest band that I love is Kiss. I love the mysteriousness what once was them. They were 4 characters under makeup, and you didn't know what they looked like underneath that makeup until a certain point of time. And also other bands. I'm not huge on the metal scene like Slipknot, but I do like the concept that they wore mask on stage and they would take it off after stage. You wouldn't really see them without it on. I just always liked the mysteriousness of that stuff. I've always been a comic book geek as well. Right. Like who is Spider-Man? You wouldn't know he's Peter Parker. You're not supposed to know this. Or, Clark Kent, with Superman. Like, you weren't meant to know this,
Right.
So that's one of the things. And I believe it draws a lot of mystery to my channel and in like a Phantom of the Opera kind of a way, like a haunting way. So I kind of figured, hey, I like this theme. So I kept it like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it too. I mean, yeah, of course, there's other people who wear a mask out there too that don't have such a cheery side to themselves. I will say that, but you have like fun. I mean, you're like having a blast with what you do, and you're not blasting people. You're building up people. So that's what I love about it.
Yeah,
Bama said he loves Kiss.
I've got this rounded personality about me that even if I even if I don't care for someone's work, so I'm still gonna like try to work it out. Be like, yeah, well, maybe I should do this a little different, But I understand because a lot of the urbex community as well, they're very territorial, and some of them will wear a mask for other reasons, just for like the gloat of it all. Me, it's more that I don't, it's harder for me to get caught by, the cops for trespassing, as well as, and just to mess with people. So, because you never know, I could be the guy in the background walking around without the mask on. You would never know.
Yeah, you wouldn't know who you were. Yeah, I like the mystery part. I'm like you. I like comic books. That's why I like certain things like DC, because who knows who Batman is unless you know.
Yes.
So yeah, I love that concept. That is absolutely the coolest thing. So yeah, I like that. Let's see. I was trying to see if there's any more questions. Not right now, I don't think. So where's let's say you have a bucket list. What would be on your bucket list of places to go to investigate? Let's say.
A couple of them I've already done. But the others, let's see. What would oh my gosh. In Germany. Chernobyl. I mean, I know it's overly done, but Chernobyl will be the ultimate for me. Well, kind of somewhat the ultimate, not really, but that would be one of my bucket lists for sure. Others, let's see here. That's really kind of a hard one, dude, because they're all on my list, like small or large. They're all on my list.
Yeah.
I would just love to go to like like how exploring what Josh does. I would just love to just go somewhere like a city, like a New York City that's like totally abandoned. That's what I would love to find. I would love to find that in underground tunnels that just go to nowhere. Well, somewhere. I just love to visit places that just no one's around for miles, and it's like they just ran off with everything left behind. It's crazy. Those are the places I would love to go on my bucket list for sure. But Egypt would be another one for sure. Egypt would definitely be one. I know it's more so not abandoned, but it's got that mystique to it. So Egypt would be nice.
That'd be cool. A lot of history there for sure.
Definitely.
And then all the they do say spirits are in those in the tombs or in the pyramids or whatever. And yeah, that would be interesting to sit down and, if nothing else, we just got to explore it, without the paranormal side of it. That'd be great. But what about places like, because some people, I think I like to try Waverly Hill myself, but it is overblown by a lot of people. But places like that,
that'd be another Waverly Hills. Okay, so I'm starting to think of more. I know that the West Virginia, what is it? Allegheny County, West Virginia asylum. Even though if it's unabandoned, it's kind of somewhat of a museum-like. But for two reasons, for the second reason is the main reason. For the first reason, it's the second largest stone-cut building to exist. But even more so, my great-grandmother from 1925, I want to say 1925 and on till 94. She lived there.
Oh,
yeah, she was committed, and everyone left her behind.
Oh wow,
it was crazy. And I'm guessing she was buried or cremated up there. Had to have been.
Yeah, they do have a cemetery on site, don't they?
I think
that's what I'm thinking about.
I think they do.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sure she's up there.
Uh-huh. Wow. Vodka has a question. So far, what's been your scariest experience, paranormal and non-paranormal?
Both of those I would have to answer in the same place, the same thing, which is, of course, everybody's well familiar with Gundry Children's Asylum in Baltimore, Maryland. That's a place I love to go. It breaks my heart every time I get into it because I see it's more deteriorated and it won't be too much longer. I'm giving it about another 3 to 5 years tops before it's too dangerous to even enter. But ever since I first ever entered that place, I get this really bad vibe. Like, it's all fun and games. Well, not really fun and games, but I'm all pumped and ready to go. I'm smiling. I'm giggly like a little boy on Christmas morning. Like, I'm just ready to take over this place. And as soon as I cross that threshold, I'm done. I'm like, I don't want to be there. Like, I'm not doing this place. I said it a few times. I want to turn around and to walk away. I'm like, nope. Yeah, screw this place. I'm not filming this place. But yet I would say, well, I'm here, so why not? But paranormal wise and non-paranormal wise, it's very creepy. For one, the encounters of the people there, if I ever do, some of the things are messed up. Like the last time we had explored there, I think it was the week before last. I think it was 2 weeks ago or last weekend. Went upstairs and there was like not fresh blood, but there was legit blood on the floor, and someone had walked in it and barefooted, and
Oh God.
looked downstairs and realized there's more. Like someone took some glass and must have slit themselves with it. I don't know. There's some crazy people around there. And also paranormal wise, every time I go in there, something happens. I cannot explain, like little children running back and forth or noises. You can't explain it. I'm not talking about like doors. I'm talking about like little voices or something. Like, what was that? Like, no one's here. It's got that really dark atmosphere to it. It chokes you.
Oh Lord, yeah. I can understand that. For sure. Now you had an encounter not long ago. Let's see. Didn't you come across someone sleeping? Right?
Yeah, that was a good while ago. We were going in because I didn't even know what this place was. It was just a random hit, and it was in Baltimore City, like in the heart of the city. And we tried this place and that place, and stupid things were going on around us. It's like we don't want involved. I think there was some drug trafficking and something else going on. And I was like, yeah, we don't want involved in that. So we just kept going on to somewhere else. And finally we hit this one place up, and one of the guys I usually explore with, he doesn't like heights. Now the problem is going up. Now the problem is coming back down, but going up is not that hard. And we're going up a fire escape. So we go in the fire escape up 4 stories high, and we realize this place is a salon, and we're going from the top floor down. And next thing you know, I myself was going downstairs to take a sneak peek because for some reason I've always seen, even in crowds, well, not crowds, but groups, I somehow always find myself alone. Like I venture off alone, and it ticks everybody off. It makes people mad. Like, don't ever do that because something happens. You'll find me that everything's all messed up.
Right.
I can't help it. It's just part of my thrill. And so I did that. I was walking downstairs, and next thing you know, I heard something snoring. I'm like, I looked down and past the staircase. I'm like, oh, there's someone down there. He's all passed out. The blanket's over top of him. And I ran upstairs real fast. Well, didn't run, but I went upstairs real fast and tell my buddy, hey, there's someone down. And he thinks I'm pranking him because I'm a big prankster, And like, no, there's no one out. No one's down there. No, you're just kidding with me. Like, see for yourself. I went back down there. Yeah, he was there. Now, we didn't dare ourselves to just go up to him just to see him. But we thought that we were going to walk around him and downstairs we go. But I saw a weapon, and then I saw something else beside of him that I didn't quite like, which told me that that's his home.
Mm-hmm.
So just don't bother him. Let's just go out. Let's just get out of here.
All right. That was crazy for
That was
sure.
intense.
Mm-hmm.
If he would have saw us, he would have been fighting us for sure.
Probably so.
Mm-hmm.
Bama asked, "What's been your gotcha paranormal moment? Finally catching something on film."
I would say one of those is what I had encountered in the video from yesterday, which was the ghost of Tennessee. I never knew about this ghost, but he hangs out at Sash's Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And the story is if you hand him whiskey, or if you leave out whiskey for him, of course, you won't see it just disappear, but cigarettes, he loves cigarettes. So you put the cigarette on the banister and you let him take a hit of it. And you'll see the ember, the glow, and you'll see it actually, the cigarette turning. Now, there could be possible, ways to debunk it. But what I saw with my own eyes, that was pretty crazy. And that was a good, cool moment. And it wasn't anything too crazy to where it wasn't like, it wasn't trespassing. It wasn't, nothing like that. So it was just time to chill, but yet you saw that.
Right.
What's the other thing? Because I haven't really caught too much really when exploring besides noises that when I go to look at it, go look at where the noise came from, it's not there. When I walk away, there's no noise again. It's there. Or the few times, it's birds or was a bat all along. I haven't really catch too hardly much just yet.
Right. But that's going to happen. You're going to get something.
I'm hoping.
Sure.
Now, what I've been told that is, it's about guaranteed that people like us, people like myself, will definitely catch something, because I'm not going there to just look for that. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, hey, I still got a good video.
Right. Yeah. For sure. Hey, Mystic, how are you? But yeah, I mean, even, and I've said this before too, which is kind of funny, but we were talking about this on Amy's channel one night. Even people who fake paranormal will sometimes catch paranormal. So it's almost a guarantee you're going to catch paranormal at some point in time, something of some kind, for sure. But now you've had some good explorers. You got some stuff up, guys. You want to check it out because he's got if you like Kmart, he has some Kmart going on there.
I miss doing those. I miss doing that. I call them dead retails, not dead malls, but because I have yet to do a dead mall just yet. But I miss that. That's a challenge within itself, because one, you're not there alone. Of course, you got your own public property, and a lot of people don't want to. Well, especially employers or employees don't want to, to be public with what they do, or because I got my camera with me and everything. I'm going through the aisleways and everything, and if you get caught by managers, they'll kick you out. They'll tell you delete the footage, and I've had it happen to me once or twice already, and I never deleted it.
Why do it?
It's kind of an art in itself. It's kind of a challenge, because you're looking like you're the idiot, or you're somehow perverted in a sense, because you got a camera at hand, and what are you trying to do? You're taking a video of me or something? Like, no, you don't understand, but I just can't say it while I'm walking,
Right. Well, you were given permission, I believe, one time to go.
Once I was. Yep.
Yep. So those are good. That's for sure.
That was probably one of the best ones, because they showed me everything.
Yeah, you were walking around, and I had worked for Kmart for about it's been close to 20 years or so ago, but there was a lot of things you were showing that, I mean, even though it's not the same store I was in, but there were things I remembered from it,
right?
And that we did and had or whatever. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. And it was probably one of the worst jobs I ever had. And I hate to say it that way, but the management sucked.
Right.
It was
That's awful. That's any retail.
Yeah. It was not good. It wasn't pleasant. Doing good, Mystic. Hope you're doing good. Good to see you again. Yeah, Mystic said there's a video of Omar where he put his cigarette down in the prison and he smoked it. Now that was Brushy Mountain, I believe. But yeah, when you get something like that triggered, cigarette stuff, that's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, we were in one yesterday in a prison yesterday, before Gettysburg, and I couldn't really do too much with it, paranormal wise, or I couldn't just whip out the necrophonic app or nothing. There was actually a party, some kind of a party going on next door, and they were quite loud, and I couldn't do. I mean, I did it all in there, but I just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I had to be kind of a quiet one because that one's kind of well guarded. I'm surprised we actually got clear to that one.
Yeah,
very surprised. I can't wait to show you guys that one. That was epic for me. But I would have loved to like put out a cigarette there, or sat in one of the jail cells just for like an hour and do a challenge. I would have loved doing that, but I couldn't waste too much time. And I usually listen to my intuition.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my buddy going in, I'm like, you know what? I think we got 3 hour stops. And after that, we're pushing our luck. And soon enough, it was about 2.5 hours. And I was like, dude, we need to kind of get out of here. Since we did, there goes a cop rolling down the way.
Oh, Lord.
I was right.
Yeah, you're right. That's for sure. Yeah, you just got to be careful. But yeah, there's a lot of places that I would like to try. But I think that sometimes I'll say this before we forget that some spirits don't know what a K2 is. They don't know what these cat ball things are. They don't know, REM pods and stuff. So it's almost like, how do you trigger them? So like flashlight is one way, I think, but they're just, I think we sometimes forget the newer stuff. Sometimes they don't understand it.
Right.
But when, especially like places like you've been in Gettysburg and others that where soldiers there would not have a clue what a REM pod is or a K2 or anything like that. So it's good that when you can get them to coach them into doing something like that, that's takes a lot of work.
Right. What I've also noticed was being quiet. Like I would just leave the camera on rolling and just be quiet for 20 to 40 minutes and see if I can catch something while I'm sitting here having a conversation. I don't really want to ask questions. I want to, because I realize if these, let's say for a possibility that the paranormal does or does not exist, I mean, it still gives the fact that let's say that it does. Let's say the spirits are very earthbound, and I believe they are. Let's say that's a fact, which I feel it is. I know you feel it is. And that's what we're trying to prove. So I believe that they miss conversations. They're tired of one person, then the next person coming in, the following person coming in, the 500th person coming in asking the same stupid questions. Boy or girl, are you male, female? What's your name? How'd you get here? Like, I'd be pretty mad, if I got asked the same question. Like, let me write a book and throw it at you, So it's like, I just want to sit down and have a good conversation. Like, hey, so what's up? Here's a cigarette right here. Oh yeah, you probably don't recognize that kind of a type, right? Yeah, well, let me tell you a story on that. Back in 1940s, it's called Marlboro, whatever, whatever like that. But these cigarettes, they actually have some kind of taste to them, very minty. If you like mint, go ahead and I just want to have a conversation.
Yeah,
and I feel like if you do it that way, you would probably get more because you get trusted in time.
Yeah, because there are spirits who want to reach out. They definitely want to at least say hi. If nothing else. I mean, I've had that before. I was in a cemetery and I had a soldier's name come through and everything through the SB7. When I got done acknowledging and thanking him for his service, that was pretty much it.
Right.
And sometimes that's all they want. Just very minimal, just to be remembered sometimes,
Yeah, I definitely believe that.
Yeah, for sure.
They can get very lonely. See, I believe that within time, since we can't see them, let's say, for instance, one of us passes away suddenly, and we don't realize what just happened. And why are you, Troy, ignoring me? Like you can't hear what I'm saying, and you're just staring right past me, like, dude, I'm right here. you know, and you get that for a decade, you know, like nobody notices you. Like, wouldn't you get a little upset too? You know?
Yeah.
So they crave attention, not necessarily that they're all bad and evil or demonic. It's just they're a bit frustrated, just like you and I. I believe spirits are just like you and I in the afterlife. We still have that choice to become either a good spirit or a bad spirit. You know, not, in a sense, yes, but to still do good deeds or do quote unquote evil deeds.
Right.
Which in my mind is either angelic or demonic. That's how I take it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, you know, sometimes we see, and I see it a lot too, you know, there's a lot of YouTubers that put everywhere that goes demonic, something's demonic. And I'm like, that just don't seem to be the case for me. It may be for other people. And if it is, you may have something follow you around. Right. But, you know, I like to go to places and I will catch things that seem uneasy. Thank God I've never been scratched or hurt, but been a little sick before. But I really feel like, you know, not all spirits are bad. All spirits are bad. And they just want to be, you know, acknowledge some in a nice way.
Right.
And it's like my sister was saying here. She said, you know, just talking to them, acknowledging them, you know, that's all you got to do. And then they may touch something and light it up. Who knows?
Right.
They may feel comfortable with you to do it.
And you just don't know. It could also be that they're more scared of you than you are of them, or more intimidated. Like, because you walk into a mansion or you walk into someone's abandoned home. Well, on their end, that's not abandoned still. Like, they're treating you like you just broke into their house. Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Like, you're in this empty room, but to them, that's not an empty room. That's still their living room. Like, dude, I'm trying to watch the game or something. Like, what are you doing in my house? You know?
Yeah.
Well, they feel intruded, so it wouldn't hurt to have a conversation with them.
Yeah. I mean, if you can get a good, a good standing with them, or however you want to put it, but if you get a good relationship with them, that you can live in harmony with a lot of these spirits. Now there are those that, you know, they're going to be just mean, evil, whatever, you know, all the time. There's nothing you can do about it. You just got to try to get them to move on. But I mean, for sure. And like Mystic said, Mystic's like, I'll probably be a mischief spirit of the spirits who are with me. In other words, I can see that. I can see you being that way, being kind of mischief in a way.
Yeah, I'd definitely be the prankster.
Yeah.
I'd be the one in the corner, like using the rest of my energy to throw a rock at you.
No, don't mean to hit you. I just want to throw it and let you know I'm here.
Yeah, I just want to throw it, like, you know, kind of over your shoulder, like, you know, enough to scare you and go, whoo.
And I've had rocks thrown at me before in a cemetery and at Helen's Bridge. I'm like, I'm glad it didn't hit me, but you could hear it hit. I mean, it hit. You know, you're like, golly. Because you don't know what to think. That's when I first started doing these investigations. I was like, what the heck? I didn't expect to have something thrown at me.
Right. Yeah. I usually, unfortunately for the time being, I hope this changes, but I've seemed to run into more shady people than I have than the ghostly stuff. And that's, or the ghostly, spirits, I should say. Like, you won't believe this. You won't believe this one, Troy. But I did a video, like, what was it, last year when I first started my channel, and it was the PA Turnpike Tunnel. I did it alone, and I went through that mile-long tunnel by myself, knowing there was someone on the other end trying to scare me, and there was a bunch of kids. It had to have been, and I forgot. It took me about an hour to get through, but as soon as I got to their side, about an hour in, I forgot about those kids. I thought they were long gone. Well, come to find out, you know, I'm looking in towards this one little area, and I hear go boom, boom, bang. I'm like, oh, holy crap. And next thing you know, I see two dudes in a hoodie. Like, okay, no. I'm just explorer. Like, there's nothing more to me. And these people don't show themselves. They're being pretty shady. And, well, we all know about that story, but recently I went back to that clip, put my headset on, and just rewatched it just to relive the fear. And can you believe I heard the words "shut up"? Somebody said, when I said I'm just an explorer, someone said "shut up." At that moment, I got mad. It was a year later. It was like last week. I was like, "Oh, if I could just go back in time, I could have slapped that dude."
Oh my
You never
Lord.
tell PLE to shut up.
That's right. Mystic says, how about going into a house of someone who is OCD and tilt their pictures and walls and move stuff around and putting them all out of place? Oh my Lord.
That's what
Yeah, I mean that would definitely drive some people crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is, yeah, and like my sister says, real people are scarier than spirits. That's absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
I've never encountered anybody. I did have one guy come up to me. I was in a cemetery, and he said, "I was making sure you're not vandalizing or anything." I'm like, "No, I'm just here taking pictures, documenting a cemetery." And he kind of just hung around till I left. I was like, "Okay, whatever." I'm not doing it. It's a public cemetery. I'm allowed to be in there. I mean, who's to say I don't have somebody I know buried in there?
Right.
But,
Yeah, I think people think it's disrespectful to go in and take a video of everyone's names, but it's
Mhm.
it's but then again, no one ever complains about all the documents of these people in their past on paper
Mhm.
laying on floors when I go explore like an asylum or something. All the
Mhm.
stuff. I mean, those people are passed on now, but all of their records is right there in front of me.
Yeah.
It's not meant to happen, but it happens. So I don't understand why. Like, I mean, these people have passed. It's like you can't steal their credit information. You can't get account money from their bank.
Mhm.
They've already their family's done prepared all that stuff ahead of time. You know,
Mhm.
when they're being buried. So I don't know. I guess some people are very introverts about that. Like,
Mhm.
don't ever post anything about my grandfather's name. I don't know.
Right.
I feel like it's more of if you ever ran across my great grandmother's grave or something, I would be heck yeah, please. That's
Mhm.
great.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Well, I mean, I've filmed my own before, my own family, but and then one thing I do try to do when I am in a cemetery, when I'm in a cemetery, if I see a fresh grave, I do avoid that one because it's like maybe within a couple of days, and I kind of leave those out of it. But I love more of the older ones, like
Mm-hmm.
1800, early 1900s, and all that stuff.
Yeah, we even got some 1830s around here.
Oh,
It's
there you go.
crazy.
That's good. I love those old ones.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Vodka says finding very old graves is interesting. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I just love to see the difference in headstones and what they put up years ago, or some are a little more recent, but they're just redone their headstones or whatever. But that's why I like the Civil War cemeteries and all that stuff. Those are real good to go into. It's rare you're going to find a fresh grave in there. So.
Yeah, especially I love the headstones because they're very detailed. Like the
Hmm.
son of Gregory Father, whoever that is,
Hmm.
died in born uh, June 19th of 1765 and died here on these grounds.
Hmm.
Everything's in there from the date or just not the hour. But
Hmm.
nowadays you just slap on, okay, born this date, died this date, or born on this year, died this year. And that's
Hmm.
what you get anymore. You don't get any more
Yeah.
father of the late, or you don't get anything like that.
Mm-mm. And I think I called. Let's see, was it like something? I think it had like cousin of
Oh
or
yeah.
uncle of or something like that. Yeah, yeah. Those are rare to find because it's like you say, you just like dad, mom, whatever, son, daughter. But like an uncle or a cousin or whatever, that's very. That must have mean that they didn't have parents or something that was around or whatever, or died, or I mean, I don't know. Maybe they were adopted.
Yeah, possibly. Well, not adopted, but possibly they were. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they haven't had their parents around, and
Hmm.
I mean, a lot of stuff used to. A lot of hard plagues happened just like here the last year. That stuff was normal back in those
Hmm.
days.
Oh yeah, yeah. Anything. Yeah, I mean, tuberculosis or whatever. I mean,
Mhm.
all that stuff going on back in the day. But yeah, I mean, that's wild. Yeah, but I do love the heads. I love to see these people going around too that are cleaning the headstones.
Right.
That's really cool. They are really cool. Has anyone else got any questions you'd like to ask?
I might bite. No.
hmm. I mean, we do these podcasts. I know Bama always has good questions he comes up with, and vodka and all. But yeah, I mean, if anybody's got any questions, definitely ask him. He is up here to answer.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Yeah, but
You guys know, some of you know how random I am, so please tell me something.
yeah. Let's see. Vodka says you have seen the Seven Souls Paranormal TikTok where she comes across a headstone where they were the husband and wife and their birth date and death date were the same. Very wild.
Oh wow, no, I haven't seen that, but that is wild.
I haven't either. That is
Is so
wild.
odd.
I mean, I know those things can happen, but that's just rare to find that, when you're out investigating. Oh, wow. Back in the day, everything was made to last, unlike today. Yeah, that's true, Mystic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But it's unfortunate to go to these cemeteries and see these headstones have been knocked over. I mean, I know sometimes they're weathered, worn or whatever, but a lot of times people go in and vandalize stuff too.
Yeah, this is one. This is one really. It's small, but it's a very old cemetery. The church kind of burnt down years and years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like decades ago. But they left the steeple down on the ground. Mm-hmm. And I should do a video on this place too. But that this road, it ends on it's a country road, but it ends in a cemetery that's very old. But and I'm glad they do this. But there's like trail cams everywhere, even at night. They glow. They put on these little lights to make sure that if you do mess around in that cemetery, they got you at every angle.
Oh wow. So see, my sister has a question. She says, "What is your favorite folklore tale?"
Well, there's okay. So there's a local one. I haven't done this one. See, I'm going to end up doing these at a time. There's another place. It's an old country road, but it's down near, I want to say, West Virginia. But there used to be a crematorium at this house in the middle of kind of like nowhere. Like I said, it's an old country road. But for some odd reason, in the field, it has what do you want to call that? A gavel? No, the gavel. But it has like your iron horse with a horseman on it, like one of those tin ones.
Mm-hmm.
Not tin, but iron cast ones. And it's been sitting there for we don't know how long. But apparently, the story goes, every full moon, it's said that every night or the next day that it's always in a different position. But the gavel's missing. I'm starting to remember the story now. The gavel's missing. Now, no one ever found the gavel because apparently, I think I'm right. The gavel, that big long pole.
Okay, yeah.
I believe it might not be gavel, but the story goes the reason why that long pole, let's call it that, has been missing out of that knight's hand is because he would, on every full moon, what he would do is he would take his horse and ride, just walk back and forth with just riding this horse up and down. And when he goes back into the field where he was, he could never remember quite how he was before.
Wow.
Yeah, that's one of them.
That would be a good one.
Yeah, and the other one I was telling you about the chapel or the steeple that's actually buried in the ground in that old cemetery. Apparently, story goes, the devil himself will be in a car at 3 a.m. If you're traveling down here, you'll see his headlights behind you, and I mean that's a creepy story. I definitely don't believe it, but it'd be nice to do one on that.
It could be some kind of spirit, possibly. I don't know.
You never know. It'd be nice to catch a ghost car.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Bama has a question. Let's see, PLE. If there was anything paranormal you could catch, what would you hope to catch? What would be your thing you'd want to catch, I guess?
What I would love to catch on film, okay, on film, I've seen it with my own eyes, but I would love to catch it on film, is this dark apparition shadow. I mean, it's not just one that I've always seen. I've always seen a couple of them, but I would just love to catch one just manifesting, not manifesting, but what would you call the opposite of manifesting? I guess it's disappearing.
Yeah.
So I saw one time. It looked like Albert, like, gosh, the cartoon.
Fat Albert. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a shadow cast across my room here. It looked like Fat Albert, but yeah, he just dissipated into the floor. I'm like, okay, I wish I caught that on film.
Oh yeah.
Or the one in Gettysburg that was just sitting there, had a cigarette in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And the one before that, haven't even told you guys, was the one down. We have a thing called Cno Canal. It goes down to South Carolina, North Carolina, or somewhere like that, and connects with Washington, D.C. And they used to use it for goods and stuff for the Civil War and before that as well. So they dug out a little canal for this kind of thing. So there's a lock house, a guy who actually take care of one of the locks that builds up the pressure of the water, and then you can go on upon higher plateaus. Mm-hmm. So a lock house that's been preserved. One night we weren't supposed to be there late at night. The moon was cast down on the white siding, and there was this black image just standing there with his knee up, smoking a pipe. I couldn't get over it.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't there the next second he was.
Well, that'd be a great catch.
Yeah, so if anything I would love to catch, I would love to catch one of those guys once. Be like, hey, guess what? I exposed you. Like 20 years, but I finally got you.
Finally. Let's see. Who's next? Vodka says, what is the next explorer you're planning that you're excited about?
There are quite a few. You see, they're very stretched out upon PA, Maryland. There is an adventure happening very, very soon, and I am stoked for this one. I am very excited. So there's going to be a lot of things happening, and that I cannot really disclose of just yet. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily locations, but there's just so much around that I need to get to, and it's like, okay, so it's like on Friday. When Friday comes, I finally discuss with my little team where we're going to go, how we're going to do this, because I got one guy that checks out the things. He looks it up for me. He asks the townspeople, locals, who ask them questions, as well as what time they enter, when they get there, their security, with this and that. And then one of the other guys like, yeah, so I heard this and this and this, so we can try this. And then when we actually arrive, it's my job to walk around the perimeters and check it out to see if I feel it, if I can, what's good here, if I can get here. There's just too much scattered about right now to really say that I'm excited I'm just excited for anything.
All right.
Yeah, because every weekend's like an adventure.
That's very cool. Mystic has a question. Do you ever see yourself going to Salem, Mass to do an investigation? I do eventually. Yep. Because I've never been to Salem, and it's always been to my bucket list. That's another one on my bucket list. There you go.
Amityville Horror House, Long Island. That's on my bucket list. I love to go to California. That's on the bucket list. Egypt, of course, we done talked about that one. Because I'm a big time Egyptian guy. Like, I love Egyptian history, gods and goddesses and stuff like that, wars and stuff like that. So that's part of the bucket list things too. But definitely with Salem. Salem's a little different since the witch hunts and in Europe. We escaped it over here, but only the one time that we ever had. Well, the few times we ever had it in the States here. There was another story of a place I just went to not long ago, somewhere in Maryland. I'm not going to say the name. I done said it out loud over Instagram, but that's the place where the Blair Witch Project was actually filmed. Well, one of the locations, I should say. There was two places that they went to film, but everything in that movie wasn't in just one town. It was in two places. So they got some facts kind of wrong. Of course, they're trying to make it all fictitious anyways, so why not? But there was one story of this place. I can say the name how it used to be. So it used to be called Blairsville. And apparently they had the same little thing happen, almost the same little thing happen, but not as stretched out as it was in Salem. But they had kids turn up missing. They found them drowned in some pond. They end up blaming the old crow that, she was the old one who lived amongst herself and didn't have to, she made her own food. She planted her own food. She was getting well alone on her own. So they end up taking her, blamed her for all the kids that died, and they sent her into the what they call the Black Hills, and up on the mountain, like one cold night or something, and she died of her hypothermia. So that's kind of documented, I should say, maybe I think.
Wow, that's pretty wild. That's for sure.
Yeah, and that's something that's kind of being buried under that history of that town is being buried with that, because the townsfolk, there's only less than 200 there, and ever since 1999, ever since the release of the Blair Witch Project, they just do not want anybody even coming through. YouTubers or not YouTubers, they just don't want new people coming through because they're so used to being vandalized and all.
Yeah, I don't blame them. Yeah,
you can't. So it's just that was a weird one to go through, and that was a weird somewhat investigation. It turned out to be somewhat of an investigation because we kept hearing footsteps upstairs, and once we got up there, nothing's there. But then I heard, we heard like a woman coming in. She was trying to be quiet about it. I'm like, okay, the neighbors caught us. Okay, so we got to get out of here now. We got downstairs to the entrance. Nobody there. Weird.
Now that is weird. Let's see. I think that's all the questions I see so far. So yeah, I mean, you've had some really cool experiences and places you've gone to, and I definitely want to get up there and meet you and film with you sometime.
Heck yes.
Yeah. Those places, Gettysburg. I mean, I'm just I'm a son of a veteran, and so therefore I love anything military, and all that. But anyway, just explore it and investigate it is very, very cool for sure.
Well, you would also love the fact that Gettysburg, half of their museums or whatever, they include World War II. No idea why, but they include World War II in some of the history. I guess maybe because Eisenhower ended up retiring there. President Eisenhower. I had not known that, but yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, interesting little facts about, because I'm like right up the road from Gettysburg, so I'm always there.
Oh Lord. Let's see. I don't see any more questions right now. Vodka, I add you as a moderator if you like. So let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Wow.
Yeah, sorry, Vodka. I couldn't really pinpoint that question. I'm just excited about everything, but I guess in the sense to answer your question, it's exactly what I said. There's something, and I've hinted it for months now, that there's something that's going to happen in the next few weeks. It's coming closer. The next few weeks, and it's going to be. I don't know how to put it. I can put it in like musician terms, but I'm not going to put it like that because not everybody would get it. But it's like the best of both worlds. I want to say. Let's put it that way. That
sounds good.
Oh yeah. You guys would be like, "What the?"
There's no dull moment past life at all. There's always something fun going on.
Even in my mundane job, always something. I'm just a weirdo. I'm the kind of guy, if you make mad, he's gonna act weird around you just for laughs. He just wants that attention. Like he doesn't care if you think I'm whatever I am to you. Like he doesn't care.
Oh Lord.
That's what I say too. Oh Lord.
Oh my goodness. Does anybody else have any questions? If not, we're going to start wrapping it up for the night.
But I love you guys. I love you guys. I just want to take the opportunity to tell each and every one of you, from Troy and everyone in the chat, thanks for being here tonight. And again, I'll say it like I always say it. Nobody here can do this without any of you guys. Anybody.
Oh, that's correct. Yes. We love it. I mean, this is a great community. What a wonderful community. And I know sometimes we get lost in not being able to catch up with each other's stuff sometimes, or miss live streams or whatever, but we all have lives. We have to do things too. So that's very understandable. But you know, and I try to catch up as much as I can on everybody when I can. And so, yeah, but definitely what a great community. I mean, I thank everybody for being in the chat tonight. And I could not wait to get Past Life up here to talk and get experiences and things he's done. I knew it's going to be fun. It's going to be adventurous. And then hopefully one day I can go up there and have fun and adventure with him sometime in the near future. So
yeah, please. You're always welcome. Definitely.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's all the questions we got passed. So looks like we're good for the night. Unless you want to throw out anything else before we go.
Well, Troy, it's just thank you for honoring me for this moment here to be up here with you as a guest. Definitely appreciate it. And like I said, I've always appreciate anyone always around, even in Troy streams. When sometimes I can't make it to everything, but when I'm there, you guys are there. I love it, and I love whenever you guys or my streams, whatever premieres, whatever I do, you guys are supporting me. It's awesome. I love it. And there's many more things to come. I know for a while I became a little distracted from my real job and all of it. And we got to do what you got to do, but I'm starting to balance that all out. But besides that, there's going to be tons more stuff coming, more dangerous places, of course. Now, Troy, don't worry. When we go somewhere, it won't be that extremely dangerous, but only do that stuff alone. So
that's a long time. Oh God. But yeah, no, definitely that. I mean, there's just the places I've seen you go to, you would think are dangerous, but sometimes I'm just like, wow, I just really like to check that place out, And I guess the one place that got me was the car wash gas station. That was, I was like, this place is like not a dull moment anywhere.
That was the most messed up part, because I left out a little bit of it because we were so daggone confused on what was really going on. I like to think that someone had passed away, like a homeless person shooting up or something. Something was there with us, and it was talking to us. It was shouting at us. It was telling us to get the F out of there. And I heard something roll around in trash. Like, I don't know. It could have been a Baltimore rat. Could have really been a homeless person, but we couldn't find who it was. We could not find.
Yeah.
That's what really scared us.
It is. My sister told me to take a helmet with me. I can do that. I can do that. That'll be fine. No problem. All right. Well, Past Life, it's been a great pleasure to have you up here, and we'll have to do this again sometime soon.
Definitely. I would love to.
What I want to do is try to get some people, like we've had Bama up, Amy up. I'd like to get us all together and just kind of like do a podcast with everybody that's been up here, and just have like a couple hours of chat or whatever. So that's going to be something I want to do later on, and hopefully we can do that.
Excellent. Sounds great to me. Definitely.
All right. Well, again, thank you for being here. Thank you all for being in the chat, and we appreciate it, and we love y'all. And Wednesday night, I'll be back again with Rich, the Still One, on our podcast. Yeah, that's going to be cool. Great. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for being here, and I hope everybody has a great night and a great week ahead. Bye.
Great night. Thanks, Troy, and catch you guys on the flip.
See ya. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.